You get your damn hands off her.
Nobody calls me chicken needles. Nobody.
He's an asshole. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Retro Review. I am the Bearded Geek. Joining me as always is Mikey the Freak.
What's up?
And the dude, Steve.
Roads, where we're going, we don't need roads.
Well, say hi to your mom for me.
Cody.
All right. Cody Rhodes. Today we're going to be reviewing the movie Back to the Future 3, but we're probably going to be talking about all three movies because this is the 100th episode. So congratulations to us. We did 100 episodes.
We did it, yes.
I honestly did not think we would make it this far.
Man, it has been a long and fun ride, though.
Yep.
And thank you
for got
the
another
dude
thing
for
coming.
Us. The dude joining us for at least 40 to 50 of them.
Hell yeah.
And we'll thank Bebo too. He was there with us from the beginning.
No, we won't.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll thank Bebo.
You gotta thank George. You gotta thank George McFly, just like you gotta thank Jeffrey Weissman.
That's true.
Same thing, right? All trilogy.
Before we get into Back to the Future 3, let's check out that trailer.
Bum 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 bum.
I like the musical interlude.
I know, right? Horses.
From out of the west, in a cloud of dust, a thunder of hooves.
Indians!
Great Scott. I know, this is heavy.
Indians!
Marty and Doc go back one more time.
Marty, you're not thinking fourth
for their
dimension.
greatest adventure of all. Doc's living in the past.
It's a refrigerator.
But he's about to be
Shut the fleas off a dog's back at 500 yards, Tenon.
I'm going
It's
back to
pointed straight at your head.
1885 and I'm bringing you home.
It's the last round.
Why are they playing music from City Slickers?
It's the final showdown.
Hey, lighten up, jerk!
Where Marty makes a name for
Honest
himself.
strong word,
What's your name, dude? Eastwood. Clint Eastwood.
What kind of
What stupid name is that?
Doc meets his mate.
You saved my life.
I'm proud at your service.
And Tannen meets his match.
I'll hug you and shoot you down like a duck.
Dog Buford.
It's Dog Buford. Shoot him down like a dog.
Michael
Let's
J.
go, boys.
Where'd you learn to shoot like that?
7-Eleven.
Christopher Lloyd.
There's a fella that can't hold his liquor.
And Mary Steenburgen.
I never ever met a man like you before.
Miss Tony dancing.
Gentlemen, excuse me, but my friend and I have to catch a train.
Here's to you,
This summer,
Blacksmith.
Steven Spielberg
Emmett,
and
no.
Robert Zemeckis invite you
Come on, Marty!
to the
It's a
Rough
science
Riders.
experiment.
Rip roaring, rootin' tootin', straight shooting,
Are they going to show the whole damn movie? What the hell?
Experiment!
No. It's not the whole movie. Until they
Rousing
show
conclusion
CC
of-
Pop spinning the guitars.
Back to the Future.
There we go.
Back to the Future, Part 3.
The fastest horse in the world. They won't
See,
get much
now
to fool.
here's the thing. I love Back to the Future. I love Back to the Future 2. I want to watch Back to the Future 3, and then I watch the trailer, and I'm like, no, I don't need to watch it.
That was a
Basically,
lot. That's a lot.
It really was.
That was a lot. Even the train at the end. You see the train.
They show Marty
What the
kissing
hell?
Jennifer on the thing.
Yeah,
They
on
show the end of the
porch.
movie.
On the swing, yeah.
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 So I'm going to go ahead and start
That's
this off.
crazy.
My first impressions. This is probably, out of the three, this is probably my least favorite, but it's still right up there as one of my favorite movies. But out of the three movies, this is still up there. So I love this movie. I love the Western. I love the flip between McFly and Doc with the love story and stuff like that. How Doc now has a girl. and Marty's saying "Great Scott" and stuff like that. I love
Well,
that.
that's
Doc,
heavy.
Doc, that's heavy.
Yeah. But yeah, this is it's a great series. Back to the Future is probably the just my favorite series of all time. Steve, how about you? What are your first impressions of Back to the Future 3?
My first impression of Back to the Future 3 was me being at home watching Back to the Future 2 on TV, and then my parents going, "Okay, now let's go to the movies." And we went to the movies and saw Back to the Future 3.
That's good.
I like that.
It's my least favorite in the series. My good friend Kevin Milburn would say that it is the best of the series, and as I have told him for over 15 years, you are wrong.
And you are not my friend anymore.
Yes, I do like the Western aspect of it. I thought that was pretty cool. Mikey the Freak, what
If
is?
I wanted a Western aspect, I'd watch City Slickers. Mikey the Freak, what do you think?
Yeah, no, I'm in the same boat. I enjoyed the movie. I did watch this in theaters. I watched 2 and 3 in theaters, and just recently watched Back to the Future 1 re-released in theaters locally, which was awesome. But yeah, this is my least favorite of them. I think it's the Western aspect. I really did. I really like the futuristic one. That's why 2 is my favorite. But I wasn't big on Westerns as a kid or even as an adult. So it makes sense for them to go back in time to the 1800s, 1885, to kind of see what would happen back then. But
Well,
yeah, I
because it's
mean,
Doc's greatest dream. Oh,
yeah,
my
he
dream
always wanted to live in the Old
is to
West.
go to the Old West and see what it would be
Yeah.
like living back there. I sound more like Christopher Lloyd from Taxi, but it's still Christopher Lloyd.
Jim.
Sounded more like Nixon than anything else.
Yeah,
I
don't
am
shake
not
his
a
butt.
crook.
Don't shake his butt. But no, it is a good. I mean, it is a good movie. I will sit and watch it anytime it comes on,
Oh,
no
yeah.
matter what, just because we're Back to the Future fans. But yeah, out of the 3, it is my least
Really?
favorite. Yeah, no, what? I got a whole wall over here with like every character and cast and every Funko autographed and yeah, just huge. Yeah, huge Back to the Future fans. But yeah, I still great flick. Definitely the least out of the 3 though.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and go into ratings for this movie, and then we'll judge the whole thing as a whole, 1, 2, and 3. If I had to rate this one, I would it's still one of my favorites. I gotta give it man, I almost want to say 8.5, but I'm gonna give it a 9 because I still love it. I love the whole series.
Yeah.
9.
You gotta be biased. You gotta be
Yeah,
biased.
I'm a little bit biased. Steve,
Yeah.
what about you? How would you rate it?
If I had to rate this, I would rate it at a. Sorry, that's the music from the movie. I'd be a 6. It's a solid 6 for me, just because once again, not my favorite. Like there's great things about it. Little kid points to his penis. What's not to love about that? Because he's
the kid
telling
had to go pee.
he's
Steve.
got
He
to
had
pee so bad.
He had to pee. So
He
tell
has
everybody
to
he had to
pee.
pee.
That's right.
Yeah.
Tells everybody for the rest of cinematic history that he had to go pee. No, I mean,
I wonder what he's like now. I wonder what he thinks of that now.
You think that's just how he tells people now that he just looks at his wife from across the room and just starts tapping himself?
Yes, I think so.
If that were me, that would be my gimmick. That would be my gimmick the rest of life. Every movie I was in, I would work that in of me tapping.
Somehow.
Mikey the Freak. Go ahead.
Mikey the Freak, what's your rating?
I mean, do you think that now, because of everybody knows who he is, and now he's an adult, they're like, "What were you thinking? Did you just have to pee, or did
I
you?"
guarantee that kid.
Who's everybody? Who's everybody? No one knows who this kid is.
That's true.
Yeah,
I'd have to look it up to find out who he is.
That kid was like 5 or 6. So I guarantee that kid doesn't remember that.
Yeah.
For cinematic history, he's part of a legend of Back to the Future.
He's right up there. He's right up there with Teen Wolf, with the person that allegedly had their penis hanging out.
Yeah. The kid's like, yeah, that was me.
That was me.
That was me. Sorry.
Ratings.
No, I can't rate it as high as. No, I'm not rating all 3 of them together, of course, but just Back to the Future 3 in general. I think it's a solid 7.5. because one, it's Back to the Future, so I do have to give a little bit more of a bump. It was kind of interesting with the Doc's first refrigerator, or that I thought was cool. Freezer, refrigerator, whatever it was.
His ice
When
cube
he makes the
maker.
one ice cube,
Yeah.
one ice cube, iced tea. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's a solid 7.5, just for the movie in general, not because
I
of
got you.
Back to the Future and everything. Yeah.
I got you. I got
Yeah.
you. Let's go ahead and talk about the movies as a whole. Actually, let me go back to Back to the Future 3. What the thing that always got to me was Doc coming in on the train afterwards, but he said that suitable parts for time travel wouldn't be available till 1937.
1947.
So why not
Yeah,
just travel to
1947.
that point in time and get the parts you need? He just traveled to 1980 something.
Well, because the time machine had already left. There was no time machine after he grabbed Clara off of the train. Where did he get parts from? I don't understand.
He waited in time. He waited through time with Claire. He had 2 kids,
That's a long
Jules
time.
and Vern. Talk about
Apparently,
such
that
an
guy never ages at
talk
all.
about unoriginal. No,
No,
of course not.
apparently
Look
not.
at Christopher Lloyd now. He looks basically the same. What an unoriginal name for 2 children, Jules and Vern.
And Vern, yeah,
Jules and Vern. Okay.
Vern's a better name than Jules. I'll give you that for sure.
Jules is
But
more of a nickname than
yeah,
anything else.
if I had to rate,
know what I mean, Vern?
if I had to rate
Yeah.
all of them, the whole series as together, I think it's a great story, 1, 2, and 3, that's told. So I'd give that a straight 9 as well. But yeah, what's your favorite Back to the Future movie? 1, 2, or 3? I gotta go. I go back and forth sometimes between 2
Yeah.
and 1, but I gotta say 1 because it's the original.
I'm going to say 2, and I'm going to tell you why. Because 2 gives us everything that's great from 1, taking out the incestuous storyline, and they give us the future.
Which is the past.
Well, for us now, yes,
it is now. I was there.
Yeah.
It is now. Mine's Back to the Future too, because I enjoyed seeing a Ford Probe and a Ford Tempo being decorated from the early 90s, being decorated to look like it's 30 years older. And they were still pieces of shit cars in the early 90s. And they're still there. They're still there. I like the hologram. I like that cars were flying. I thought it was something like, holy shit, like they really thought this out. Maybe we might be there.
The 2 tires.
And this is called this is called a dust cover.
Back before we had dust repellent paper. Yes.
Yeah.
No,
all that was kind of cool. I love 2 better because I just like to see that different type of thought process on what their idea of the future 30 years later could be like when they made the movie.
And even with the cast change of
Jennifer.
Jeffrey Wiseman now playing the part of George, they did that really well to where a lot of people I don't think even knew that it was not Crispin Glover.
Yeah, I didn't even learn till I was like 20 something, maybe even 30 something, that wasn't Crispin Glover. I'd say the more obvious you'd have to talk about is Jennifer.
But don't discredit. I wouldn't discredit Jeffrey Wiseman because he was kind of brought into that role and to be George McFly, but not really to be Crispin Glover because they still needed to have that character.
Oh yeah,
he was still predominant in 2 and 3, so it was trying to, have somewhat of a look-alike. So I think he did a very good job, amazing job trying to step into that role with everybody on. I'm sure how they treated him. Coming into it, and I'm sure Elizabeth Shue got the same thing. Going into the Jennifer role from Claudia Wells into Elizabeth Shue, they're like, "What happened to Claudia?"
I always thought Elizabeth kind of looked like they did her makeup really weird. She almost looked like she was wet on her face some of the time. Like it was very weird looking.
Weird.
Like she looked plasticky in her face.
But I think they could, if they wanted to continue with Elizabeth Shue compared to Claudia Wells, they should have darkened Elizabeth Shue's hair and made it more of darker brown like Claudia was, because they kept the same outfit, so they really didn't want to have a huge transition into an obvious transition. So,
Right.
and they wanted to make it look exactly the same. So they should have I think they should have darkened her hair to make it not as obvious. Kind of like Jeffrey Weissman and Crispin Glover. Same concept.
I'm old.
I get married in a chapel of love.
Mom,
And then you
Mom,
get
is that you?
Michael J. Fox to track. Mom, Mom, is that you?
It's like, Mom, is that you?
Is that you?
Those eyes, man, when he opened, it's such a
Like-
weird look.
Just look right in the camera, Marty.
And then you get Jeffrey's Crispin as George McFly. Well, I know. See, and I don't think they think that people would naturally
you're right. You're right.
realize it because he's upside down. Yeah, when you're right, you're right.
I did love the whole house thing. I wish I had a little thing to where I could say fruit, please, and fruit
Thank
come
you.
down.
Hydrate
Fruit,
please.
fruit, please.
Yeah.
Up.
So
Hydrate level 4, please.
that would
Man,
be
Mom,
great.
All right, give me channel 4, channel 27, channel 38, channel 59,
And the Weather Channel.
101, and the Weather
Tits.
Channel.
Is that only station that you guys saw when it said tit and it went?
Tit. Yes.
That's all.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yes.
That's all I noticed out of the
I know-
6 screens that he was watching. That's all I saw was tit. Boop. Right
I
there
know
in the
no
bottom
other-
right corner.
I know of
That is-
nothing else that was on the screen.
That's
Oh,
it.
so
Other than the scenery channel. I love the
right.
scenery channel.
Yeah.
You're tuned to the scenery channel.
So I rated the series, the trilogy, as a 9. Steve, what would you rate the whole trilogy as?
I would agree with you on that. The series as a whole is a 9.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. I can watch them all, some more than others.
All right,
Mikey.
Yeah. Oh man, I think I'm more of a 9.5 just because I can quote like almost everything in the entire movie. And I stopped myself when we just watched Back to the Future 1. I had my wife and both kids watching it. And my wife, before it started, said, "You're not quoting the whole movie, are you?" And I'm like, if I start to, I can't help myself. So knowing them, I know 1 and 2 more than 3. Because I can quote basically the whole entire 1 and 2, and then that's probably why 3 is not my least favorite. I can't quote it as much, but we know so many different scenes because we've watched them so many times. But yeah, I mean, to me, it's a 9.5 because like I said, I can watch all 3 of them at any time and put it on and be like, yeah, I'll sit here and watch 3. I don't care.
That's perfectly fair.
Yeah.
All right, I have some fun facts about this movie. When filming the scene where Buford Mad Dog Tannen tries to lynch Marty McFly Jr., was accidentally hanged, rendering him unconscious for a short time. He records this in his autobiography, Lucky Man.
I think if you were like some fun facts, I really wanted to be like, is it the fact that McFly actually hung himself?
Yeah, that's the first one, getting it out of the way. Clint Eastwood was asked for permission about his name being used for Marty in the film. He consented and was said to be tickled by the homage.
Oh, that's cool. At least he knows.
Yeah, Marty uses a Frisbee pie plate to knock a gun out of Mad Dog's hand.
Far out.
In 1871, the Frisbee Pie Company started in Connecticut. Their pie pans were thrown on the campus of Yale, and this eventually led to the invention of Frisbees. So there you go. There are some fun facts. Steve, what do we have?
Oh
for some
man,
soundtrack.
Let's get into these soundtracks. Nothing that you're gonna know. main title, Doc to the Rescue, The Showdown. We're Out of Gas, The Kiss, Indians, Doc Returns, At First Sight, Point of No Return, The Train, Part 3. It's Clara, The Train, Part 2. The Hanging. Double Back, Goodbye Clara, The Future Isn't Written, Hill Valley, Wake Up Juice, A Science Experiment, The Train Part 1, and where'd
And
it
Double
go?
Back is the only song that they
Yeah.
sing.
Oh yeah. And in credits, I think that's what it is.
Yeah. Double Back is sang by ZZ Top, who made an appearance in this film.
Yep.
Let's see. Yep. Mikey the
Back
Freak.
to the Future Part 3 end credits. That's what the end credits have.
What do we have for some related reels, sir?
Yeah, so I did one from Back to the Future 1, one from 2, and one from 3, since we're talking about all three of them. So we'll start with Back to the Future 1. I picked Billy Zane, which was Match. He Titanic, of course. Everybody knows him in Titanic. The Phantom and Tombstone for Billy Zane. For Back to the Future 2, I picked Jeffrey Weissman. Got to show you, he was in Saved by the Bell. If everybody can see that one, I got that from him personally. Saved
Very
by the
cool.
Bell as the geek. And then also check this one out. I got to show you this one. This is some behind the scenes action that he actually sent me. That's him
like
actually upside down, or the stunt double.
Oh, he's right. He's right.
Upside down. So I thought that was pretty cool. Thank you, Jeffrey, for that one. But so he was in the Twilight Zone, the movie, which was actually a good movie. John Lithgow, he was in that. Of course, Saved by the Bell that I showed you, and Pale Rider with Clint Eastwood. Kind of ironic on that one. And then Burton Gillum, Back to the Future 3. In The Getaway, our favorite, the Fletch, of course, Fletch. And Blazing Saddles.
Blazing Saddles.
Tell
That's our
him
favorite.
I said
Al.
Al.
Got it.
I love Burton Gillum. That was great.
All right, guys. As we wind down, Steve, where can people find you on your podcast, sir?
Oh, the last podcast you'd want. Tip the field, try the staff, thank you all for coming. And if you didn't, better luck next time.
Make sure you check out the Mod Squad Network, which is the sister channel of Back to the Retro Review. We have a horror show, we have a wrestling show, we have a gamer show, and we have a Movie Talk Monday show. We also go live every Saturday night with a giveaway. Yep. Do all the YouTuber things. I forgot what I was about to say, guys.
Give us a
Do all the
thumb.
YouTuber things. Give us a good old thumb in. Hit that like, subscribe. Leave a comment. Tell us what you thought of Back to the Future, the whole trilogy. All right, guys. So for Mikey the Freak and the dude Steve, I am the bearded geek saying thank you for being a friend.
Double